If you're looking to get unlimited sellers, especially as a top realtor or you run an agency and you want to, one, get more leads for your business, because of course, listings are king, listen very closely. What is going on, my real estate family? My name is Wandile Mr. W. I work very closely with top real estate agents and agencies, helping them get more buyers and sellers using AI as well as digital marketing. So I'm just going to give you guys no BS advice, just jumping straight into it and dropping all the bombs and the value. So what is the best way for you guys to get unlimited sellers? There's multiple different ways, but from what I've noticed and from what I've seen, you have to go digital. You have to start implementing technology. And that is rule number one. You have to focus on that because unfortunately, there is no better cold calling script. Yes, there is, but I mean, do you want to improve by 2% or do you want to improve by 50 or even 80%? When you decide to completely start focusing on AI and digital marketing, that's ultimately putting you in the top 0.1% because most agents and agencies are focusing on the traditional side. So that's very important to understand as the first rule. Second rule is I want you to start selecting the platform that you want to specialize in. So what do I mean by that? Do you want to focus on Google, TikTok, Meta, Pinterest, LinkedIn? Personally, I know they all work, but ideally you want to focus on your avatar. Where does your avatar hang out? Where do they spend most of their time? And I know for many of you guys might be like, oh, well, my avatar spends most of their time on LinkedIn. Do they? Or is it just an assumption? Go and do your research and figure that out, because once you figure that out, then the next steps are really going to help you move forward. But my advice is purely focused on using Meta as the main platform. Why? Because we've been doing it for quite some time. We've tested out different channels and platforms, and Meta, hands down, has just been the best one to use. Why? Because it's got the most data on your audience, and as well as it's flexible and it's dynamic. And let me just speak about how to then get all these unlimited sellers by selecting the right platform, which is mainly going to be Meta. So the reason why I like Meta is because, as I mentioned, it's got more data. Guys, you need a platform that has more data, because the platform that has more data on your avatars, then it makes it a lot easier to get better results. So for example, if I had to split test between doing a lead generation ad on Meta versus TikTok, Meta will always win because it's got the better data. Now, of course, Meta works on an auction-based system, so if you're going to spend less money, you're still going to get leads, but they won't be as high quality. But if you spend a bit more on Meta, you will then get the quality leads. Whereas with TikTok, it's not at that stage yet where it has enough data to really get an idea of active buyers. You need active buyers, purchasers. Okay, people with buying power. Now, it's not to say TikTok will never get there, but TikTok is still getting to that point where it's finding the right data in their audiences. So that's number one, and why Meta would be the best way to go. The next thing, if you want to then attract sellers from a data perspective from Meta, is you basically want to run targeted lead generation campaigns. And now this is the key element here. Be very specific in your ad, okay? You need to specify who is your avatar, what is their pain point, and how you can help them. But ultimately, you need to make it all about them, and you need to be as detailed as possible in your messaging without making it too long. That gets straight to the point, and it ultimately gives off the right message. Why? Because the right message will then allow Meta to then look into its data, right? Its pool of audiences, your avatar, and find the right person to put that ad in front of. It is that simple. And that's why I like Meta, because Meta now works with data. You give it the right data, it's going to go find you the right lead. Okay? Awesome. Next reason why I love Meta to help you get more unlimited sellers is because it's creative focused. Now, you could get the argument of, oh, Wandile, I would rather do Google ads because I want to find more intentional sellers instead of me having to then go run Meta ads where they may not even be ready to sell a house right now. Yes, I understand that argument. But the problem with Google is that Google is a place for, one, corporate giants that are lazy, that don't want to be creative and just want to spend as much money as possible. Guys, in the Google world, it's all about the person who spends the most. So if you are someone who spends the most on Google, you will get the quality customers. But if you're not spending the most, then you're going to lose out on that. Now, where Meta comes into play, Meta allows you to be a little bit more dynamic with your creativity. Because Meta is all about getting people's attention and then getting them to convert. Whereas Google, you are finding people that have already made a decision. And there's pros and cons with both. But what I would just say is when it comes to Google, you essentially finding people that already have made a decision, but now they're window shopping. because they're trying to find the best possible option. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be someone who is now having to fight for a lead to be the best possible option. I would rather get that lead's attention off guard, give them as much value where they're like, damn, I actually need this person. So they're only thinking of me at that time and they want to move forward. That is the power of Meta. If you know how to get their attention, you're going to win every time. And I can tell you now, all these big corporate companies that are pumping a lot of money in their business for real estate ads, for example, they suck when it comes to Meta, because I see their ads and their ads don't even get attention. Their ads don't even get the results because they are not creative focused. So when I mean by creative focused, I mean you need to be very, very, very image and video heavy. You need to be split testing different images, different videos. Personally, if you're not at least testing 5 to 10 videos a week, 5 to 10 images a week, that is where you will start to lose out. So the key element to really succeeding in this is to always pump out new images, new videos, make it fresh every time in order for you to keep getting the right leads' attention and to keep staying top of mind and to keep getting the quality leads. I'm literally giving you guys all the source. All the top guys are constantly reshuffling their videos, reshuffling their images. But here's the benefit around this, okay? The benefit around this whole thing is that you will now have a vault full of winning images and winning videos, so that whenever things go a bit slow, you can always then go and tap into the 7th video or the 27th video that worked for you last year. So it's more of a long-term strategy, but once you lock in and you have the right images, you're good to go. In our business, we have over 50 images that have worked very well to attract sellers. So I can work with 10 different agents in one area and they're all going to get results because all those different images will then help each agent attract every type of potential seller. That is the key element. Now, to get unlimited sellers in 2025, right, by utilizing Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, you also want to focus highly on your offer. The offer, I would say, hands down, was one of the most important offers. What is a good offer? Well, if I don't sell your house right now, if I don't sell your house in the next 30 days, I will pay you $2,000 for wasting your time. That is a good offer. Okay. Now I know many agents don't have a pay to utilize or to create an offer like that. But you want to create an offer that is not too invasive, that's not too pushy, that is just gonna get them to be like, okay, I want to learn more. And an easy, low barrier offer is you want to provide some sort of value, whether it's an ebook or whether it's a CMA report or evaluation. Those are one of the best offers you can utilize just to then get them to commit. Guys, it's all about one step. When you meet the woman of your dreams, the man in your dreams, you're not instantly pitching marriage. Yes, your goal is marriage, but you understand it's baby steps. Let me get your number. Let's talk a bit on WhatsApp or iMessage. Then let's go on a date. Then if we like each other on the first coffee date, then we go on a real date, right? Then we get into a relationship. Then a few months or a few years later, we get engaged, and then only we get married. So the whole process around this, guys, that when it comes to having an offer, you are basically pitching, right? You are pitching to get their number. And then when you get their number, then you're pitching for the coffee date. It is all a process, guys, step by step. Once you can utilize that, especially on Meta, trust me when I say it's one of the best quality relationships you will get, hands down. So I would highly suggest always make sure that you've got an offer, always reshuffle new creatives, and always make sure that your messaging is on par. Be very detailed as possible, and trust me when I say that you're going to win every single time. I will also give you one more tip. If you want to get unlimited sellers in 2025 by utilizing Meta, Facebook, and Instagram ads, is the beauty around this is that it also has higher frequency. So what do I mean by higher frequency? So Google released a study called the 7-11-4 rule. And in the 7-11-4 rule, basically what it said is that it takes about a consumer 7 hours to consume your content before they're ready to buy from you. Now, you need to ask yourself right now, do I have 7 hours worth of content? If you don't, then now this is very important. Make sure that with your video ads, you're not just only running ads, which is a direct offer, but you're also running ads where you're adding value. Guys, do a detailed market report that's like maybe 10, 20 minutes long. Do a detailed report on what's happening right now in the area. Do a detailed video about why selling right now is the best option or why buying right now is not good. Give as much value as possible and push that in your ads, so that when people are consuming your content or you put in that on your page, when they see your ad, they're going to click on your page, they're going to view you, right? Because that's just how it works. We always like to stalk people that we've seen online, especially if we feel like they can help us, and then get them to consume your content. Once they're in, guys, the algorithm picks that up. And once the algorithm picks up the fact that they're spending time watching your content, guess what's going to happen? They're going to feed you more of your content to that audience. And that is ultimately what helps you stand out. That is ultimately what's going to get you unlimited sellers. But you have to put in the work, guys. You have to put in the work. Be very specific with your messaging. Always test it out. Same thing with your creatives. Same thing with your offer. And same thing with the right content that's going to get them to eventually buy after consuming at least about 7 hours. Anyways, if you guys got a lot of value in that, please feel free, guys, to like, share, comment, and subscribe. To find out more about what I do, we help real estate agents get more buyers and sellers using AI and digital marketing. I've got my Instagram link in the description if you want to work with me one-on-one. Check out the comment section, and I'll chat to you guys on the next one. Take care.